Hello everyone, myself Nataraj K, Department of Mathematics, Maharaj Institute of Technology, Mysore. In your last class, you studied about the Milne's predictor and corrector method. Now, in this session, I am going with next topic of module number 5, that is calculus of variation. Next, calculus of variation means variation, the term indicates the changes. So, the calculus you have already learned about calculus in your previous semester, that is differential calculus as well as integral calculus. Next, in differential calculus we have many methods to find maxima and minima of function of one or two variables. Further, we are also familiar with the method of finding extreme values of the function of two or more variables by Lagrange's method of multipliers. Next, in calculus of variation, we use certain methods in order to find maxima and minima of the function represented in the form of integrals. In your previous semester, you have found the maxima and minima or extreme values. Maxima and minima is also called as extreme values. In your previous semester, you have found extreme values of the function of two or more variables. Okay, now another method, that is Lagrange's method of multipliers, that you have solved problems regarding that method in your previous semester. Going into the topic calculus of variation, we shall know some of the important applications of calculus of variation. Calculus of variation is used to find the solution of Brachistov problem, Tautotron problem, Newton's minimal resistance and catenary problem. Next, it is also used to find the solution of boundary value problem in differential equation using variational method. Next, it is also used to find the minimal surface of the boundary problems. Also used to find the problems arising in Newton's general theory of relativity. These are some of the applications of calculus of variation. Okay, next, under calculus of variation, we have first topic is variation of function. First topic is variation of function. Okay, let us consider the function f of x comma y dash. Okay, I am considering the function f of x comma y dash. Can also be rewritten as, that is f of x comma y of x comma y dash of x, that is y and y dash are functions of x respectively. Suppose if we give small increment to y and y dash, that is small increment means we are changing y to y plus h into alpha x and y dash to is y dash plus h into alpha dash of x. I am giving small increment to y and y dash, that is y equals y plus h into alpha x and y dash equals y dash plus h into alpha dash of x, where h is the small parameter independent of x. Here h is your small parameter independent of x and alpha of x is the arbitrary function. Now we have, now by Taylor series method we have, you have already learned about the Taylor series in your previous semester. Is f of x comma y plus h into alpha x comma y dash plus h into alpha dash of x equals f of x comma y dash plus 1 by 1 factorial h into alpha into dou by dou y plus h into alpha dash into dou by dou y dash. Next, plus second term is 1 by 2 factorial h into alpha into dou by dou y plus h into alpha dash into dou by dou y dash whole square plus etc. This is the expansion of the function using Taylor series method. Now, since h is the small parameter which is independent of x, we can neglect the second and higher order derivative, so that we have f of x comma y plus h into alpha x comma y dash plus h into alpha dash of x. I am shifting f of x comma y dash to left hand side. It becomes negative minus f of x comma y dash equals, you remain with only this term, that is h into alpha into dou by dou y plus h into alpha dash into dou by dou y dash. Since we are neglecting the second and higher degree terms. Next, denoting right hand side by dou f. This is, that is, we are denoting right hand side by dou f, that is equal to h into alpha into dou by dou y plus h into alpha dash into dou by dou y dash. Here dou f is called variation of function. Variation of function. Now we shall derive Euler's equation. A necessary condition for the integral I equals x running from x1 to x2 f of x comma y dash into dx to be an extremum is that dou f by dou y minus d by dx of dou f by dou y dash equals 0. Okay, this is the statement of Euler's equation. Here extremum means, that is function, we need to find the functional which has both maximum as well as minimum value. Now we shall prove the Euler's equation. Proof. Let y of x be the curve joining the points a of x1 comma y1 and b of x2 comma y2 in xoy plane. Suppose if we give small increment to the curve y of x, that is h into alpha x. This is your small increment h into alpha x. H is the independent variable of x, alpha of x is the arbitrary function. Then we arrive at another curve, that is the neighboring curve y of x plus h into alpha x joining the points a and b. Now from the point A, shall draw a straight line towards x axis, we call that as x1. Similarly from point B we have x2 and this is your x. With respect to y axis we have y1, y and y2. Next, just observe the given curve, that is y of x, and the neighboring curve y of x plus h into alpha x. When h equals 0, these two curves coincide each other. That is, the integral I is given by x running from x1 to x2 f of x comma y plus h into alpha x comma y dash plus h into alpha dash of x into dx coincide each other when h equals 0. Next, applying differentiation under integral sign by Leibniz rule, we have, just observe the variables of f, that is here we have x, y and y dash. Excluding x, y and y dash, we have constant, that is small parameter h. This we need to differentiate with respect to h, that is derivative of I with respect to h equals x running from x1 to x2. Now partially differentiating the functional f of x comma y plus h into alpha x comma y dash plus h into alpha dash of x. This dou by dou h of f of x comma y plus h into alpha x comma y dash plus h into alpha dash of x dx. After this, applying chain rule for partial derivatives, we have right hand side is derivative of I with respect to h, that is equal to integral of x running from x1 to x2 dou f by dou x into dou x by dou h plus dou f by dou y into dou y by dou h plus dou f by dou y dash into dou y dash divided by dou h into dx. Call this as equation star. Next, since h is independent of x, we have, since h is independent of x, we have dou x by dou h becomes 0. Next, consider y equals y plus h into alpha x and y dash equals y plus h into alpha dash of x. I am considering both the neighboring curve, that is y equals y plus h into alpha x and derivative of y, that is y equals y dash plus h into alpha dash of x. Next step, differentiating partially with respect to h, we get, when you are differentiating partially with respect to h, y and alpha x are constants. This we get dou y by dou h equals alpha x. First term is constant, it becomes 0. Next, alpha x is constant, I have written as it is. Next, derivative of h becomes 1. Similarly, for the second term, dou y dash divided by dou h equals alpha dash of x. Now substituting dou x by dou h, next dou y by dou h and dou y dash by dou h value in equation star, we get is di by dh equals x running from x1 to x2. First term, since dou x by dou h is 0, 0 into dou f by dou x also becomes 0. Therefore, first term vanishes. Next, plus dou f by dou y. Next, dou y by dou h is alpha x. Next, in the last term, dou f by dou y dash remains as it is. Dou y dash by dou h is alpha dash of x. Alpha dash of x into dx. Therefore, we have dou y by dou h equals x running from x1 to x2 dou f by dou y into alpha x plus dou f by dou y dash into alpha dash of x dx. First order derivative, the derivative di by dh becomes 0 for maxima and minima. H equals 0. Now we have integral x running from x1 to x2 dou f by dou y into alpha x dx. Here in this case I am splitting the integral, plus the second integral is x running from x1 to x2 dou f by dou y dash alpha dash of x equals 0. Now keeping the first integral fixed and integrating the second integral by parts, that is we are using integration of uv into dx rule. Keeping this fixed and integrating the second integral. Now we have integral of x running from x1 to x2 dou f by dou y into alpha x dx plus, treat this as u and this as v. This is your u and this is your v. Next, dou f by dou y dash. Since alpha dash is your first derivative, if you integrate, the differentiation cancels with integration, you remain with alpha of x. Okay, limits x running from x1 to x2 minus, next for the second term, integration of x running from x1 to x2 alpha of x and derivative of the first term, that is d by dx of dou f by dou y dash into dx. Okay, next I am retaining first integral as it is, x running from x1 to x2 dou f by dou y alpha of x into dx plus dou f by dou y dash remains as it is. Next we are substituting the limits, x equals x2, that is your upper limit, and when x equals x1, that is your lower limit. We get as alpha of x2 minus alpha of x1 minus the last integral remains as it is, that is x running from x1 to x2 alpha of x d by dx of dou f by dou y dash equals 0. From the figure we have alpha of x2 equals 0 at point B and alpha of x1 is also 0 at point A, since A and B are endpoints of the curve y of x. Therefore, this becomes 0, this is also 0 and this is also 0. Okay, this vanishes. Next, you remain with x running from x1 to x2 dou f by dou y alpha of x into dx minus integral x running from x1 to x2 alpha of x into derivative of dou f by dou y dash into dx equals 0. Now merging the integrals, we end up with, since we have same limits, we are merging the integral x running from x1 to x2 alpha of x is constant, we can take that as outside, that is dou f by dou y minus d by dx of dou f by dou y dash into alpha of x equals 0. Here alpha of x is your arbitrary function and di by dh tends to 0, since h is independent of x. Differentiating both sides with respect to x between the limits x1 and x2, we get dou f by dou y minus d by dx of dou f by dou y dash into alpha x equals 0. Since alpha of x is an arbitrary function that can be made or equating that to 0, we end up with dou f by dou y minus d by dx of dou f by dou y dash equals 0. This is the expression for Euler's equation. Now we have three particular cases in order to solve the variational problems. The first case is if f is independent of x. That means the f does not contain any variable of x, that is dou f by dou x equals 0. then the solution of Euler's equation is given by f minus y dash into dou f by dou y dash equals c, where c is some constant. You don't have derivation for this, you need to remember only the formula. Next particular case is if f is independent of y. That means f does not contain any variable of y, that is dou f by dou y is 0, that is partial derivative of f with respect to y is 0. Then the solution of Euler's equation reduces to 0 minus d by dx of dou f by dou y dash equals 0. I am replacing dou f by dou y equals 0 in the Euler's equation. First term becomes 0. Since we have differentiation here, on integrating both sides the differentiation goes. Therefore, dou f by dou y dash equals c, where c is some constant. This is the second case. Okay, next the last case is if f is independent of y dash. That means f does not contain any variable y dash, that is dou f by dou y dash becomes 0. Then the solution of Euler's equation is given by dou f by dou y equals 0. Just observe the Euler equation, dou f by dou y dash becomes 0, then this term goes. Next you remain with dou f by dou y dash equals 0. On integrating both sides with respect to y, we get f equals c, where c is integration constant. These are some of the particular cases regarding Euler's equation in order to solve the problems on variational. Thank you all.